What's up, everyone? It's Ross here. So glad you're watching with us as we continue in our series, If You Know, You Know. I want to read another parable to you today, found in Matthew chapter 7. We're going to read in verse 24 through 27. And this is what it says. Again, this is a story that Jesus was telling. He says, "Therefore, anyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." Here, this parable that Jesus is teaching about, he's comparing a life built on rock versus a life, or a house, if you will, built on sand. It's a pretty straightforward story, and it makes a whole lot of sense because you're thinking to yourself, obviously, Jesus, the smarter thing to do is to build a house on rock, or in today's terms, concrete, because it's stable, it's sturdy, and the house won't fall that way. And any contractor would tell you it's a terrible idea to try to build your house on sand. Yet, what I notice is that the world we live in, we continue to build our lives on unsteady, unstable foundations. We're building our life not on God's way. And this is what Jesus was saying, that you can either build your life my way, firm foundation, something steady, something rock solid, or you can do it any other way. Any other way that the world tells you, but I'm letting you know that it's gonna be like building your house on sand. Here's what I notice about rock versus sand. I want to show you a photo that's going to pop up on the screen right now. This is a photo of the beach. And oftentimes, like you see at the beach, there's rock and there's sand. Notice real quick in this photo where all the people are. Are they on the rock? No, they're on the sand. And oftentimes, this is really what our world looks like. Many people would rather live life in the sand than they would on the rock. Why is that? I'll tell you a few different reasons. Number one, sand is a lot more popular. From the photo, obviously you can see that the sand is where most of the people want to be. No one's laying out in the sun on rock. Why? Because number two, sand is more comfortable. I can tell you right now, I'd much rather lay down in a huge pile of sand and rest my head there than I would trying to use that as a pillow. That would not be comfortable at all. The other thing about rock versus sand is that sand, you'll notice, is moldable. Come on, bring the camera right over here. I want to show you something about this sand. If I put my hand in the sand, notice the sand molds to what I do. And if I lay in the sand's gonna look like me. Yet, here's the thing that's really interesting about rock. I put my hand on this rock. I can't move it. It's not movable, but I'll tell you what does happen. I start to take shape of the rock. Actually, I can see some of the indentions of the rock on my hand. Oh, this is so good for somebody today. You haven't been building your life on the rock and you're wondering why you don't look like the rock. Who is the rock? It's Jesus. It's because you've been possibly been building your life on sand. The thing about the rock, though, versus sand is that rock is stable. It's unmovable. It's unshaken. And many times in life, storms come. Wind may blow. Waves may crash up against us. And what I'm really talking about here is obviously life problems. We go through times that are stressful. Things go on with our family. People get sick. We're stressed out about school. We have drama within our friendships. Those are all problems. And in those moments, let me ask you a question. What is your life built on? Is it built on the sturdy foundation that is the rock, that is Jesus Christ? Or is your life built on sand?